Don't run from me, baby. Don't run for me, baby.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I'm KRTL, and I usually do DIYs and lifestyle videos, but today I'm doing the much requested by 2 people video on my broken elbow, how it happened to me, and how you can cope with your cast or your pain of your broken bone, because this is the itchiest thing in the world. So it's really something we have to talk about. Just to start off, I'll be answering some questions that you guys had. Question 1, no, this is not the first time I've broken a bone. I've broken all 3 of these fingers doing gymnastics. And by gymnastics, I mean cartwheels on my front lawn. I've also broken this wrist tobogganing when I was like 11 or 12. So yeah, and I've also knocked out my front teeth. So yes, these are veneers, but that is a whole other video for a whole other day. But this one is so special and so unique because it's my right arm. The only thing I've ever broken on my right arm, and I get this huge cast. So yeah, it really limits my abilities to do pretty much anything. So the big question, how did I manage to break this? Well, let's take it back to Friday of last week. My boyfriend and I went to Sobeys, which is just a grocery store, and we had our skateboards in the back. And I've been longboarding for a year and a half now, and I love it. I'm so obsessed with longboarding. But then recently, I've just gotten into skateboarding. So we went to Sobeys, whatever, bought some food, and then after that, the parking lot was so empty since it was late. So we decided to, roam around, try some tricks before we'd head to the skate park, which is just our local skate park in our hometown. But we didn't even make it there, obviously. So I had my first try at a manual, which is basically a wheelie while moving on a skateboard. And I actually nailed it the first few times, thank you. But the third time I tried, and I really tried to show off because I was hashtag too confident, and I fell back on my elbow like that. My injury is known as a foosh fall, falling on outstretched hand. That night, it started to throb, but I was like, it's just in a bit of pain. Like, I'll be fine. Like, I would know if it was broken. Everyone always says that. You'd know if it was broken. Well, I had no idea it was broken, so never listening to that advice again. So that night, in the middle of the night, around 4:30, 5 a.m., I woke up sweating with a really bad fever. And later they told me that was because of the pain in my elbow, which is gross. Why does that happen? But anyways, so I woke up and I couldn't even move my arm. Like, I thought I was paralyzed. I was actually pretty concerned about that. So my boyfriend had to lift me out of bed. He brought me to the washroom because I literally felt like I was gonna vomit because of my fever and the pain. It was just like everything happening at once. It was like my whole body was feeling sick. So then he rushed me to the hospital. We went to Emerge in a wheelchair. That looks ridiculous because I had a mask on and like a barf bag, and I was like holding my elbow and screaming, the usual. And so we got there, Xrays and the whole thing, and they showed me the big crack in my elbow, which is lovely. So it's technically more of a crack than an actual break. And I think I pulled a ton of muscles in my arm. That's why I couldn't move anything and can't squeeze. And moving my fingers was awful, just an awful experience. So I found out that I cracked my radial head, which is like right here. So any movement, twisting my arm, bending, squeezing, or bending is just off limits. So they said they couldn't cast me up there because they were closed in the fracture clinic, which sucked. So I had to go to another walk-in in the morning at like 9 or 10 a.m. and get re-x-rayed, which hurts like when your freaking arm's broken, so whatever. Got my cast. The doctor was so reluctant. He said, casts are for 5-year-olds. I was like, well, put her on, buddy. It was this big white thing, like taped. It was a pretty, I don't know, ghetto vintage styled cast. And then I finally went back to the hospital and gave me this beautiful big cast. I only needed on for 2 weeks, which is not that bad because like sometimes it's like 8 to 10 weeks or something. So I'll have my cast for 2 weeks, and then I'll have a splint for I think 2 to 3 more weeks after that, and then physiotherapy at the hospital as well. So here's my list of things that are actually impossible to do with a broken elbow or a huge cast like this guy. So driving is out of the question. I think it's illegal even. Like, it's impossible. I can't take a photo with a camera, can't paint my nails. Getting dressed is so hard. Putting on pants, impossible. Putting my hair in a ponytail, writing is impossible considering I write with this hand, but I'm hoping to become ambidextrous and use both hands eventually, I wish. Eating with a fork is awful. Showering sucks. But what I do for showering is I just put a large bag over my cast and clip it on either side so that no water gets in, and then I just tuck the bag in my cast, because getting your cast wet is not only bad for your cast, but it's gross. It is wet for like 3 to 5 days, and it intensifies the itch by like 3.5 million. It is the worst. It just happened to me the other day, and it just stopped dripping like yesterday. It's been really bad, so please try your hardest for your own sake to not get your cast wet. Just hold your arm outside the shower, or just don't shower. Easy. Another thing that sucks, texting. Honestly, texting with one hand is impossible. I know my mom does that, and I'm like, hallelujah, praise to you. I have no clue how you do it. It takes forever. My hand cramps. It's just crazy. I had to realize that I just had to get used to asking people for help. It's frustrating asking someone every 5 seconds to help you out, but sometimes it's necessary. So yeah, it's so annoying, especially for me, because I hate asking for help, which is a horrible quality trait. But anyways, that's just my word of advice. Just get used to really taking it slow and easy. Another piece of advice I have is when wearing your sling, if you get one, I have one, it just holds it up. It feels nice for the first few days to really secure your arm, but it cramps my shoulder a lot, especially when I wore it to bed. So I would recommend taking it off and exercising your arm and lifting it above your head type of thing to get the blood flowing through it, or else it'll just feel dead and really painful. Some tips I have for an itchy cast or when it's throbbing and in pain, I always like to take my mind off it and do something I love, like even just going outside, having really rad photo shoots with it, because that's pretty fun, right? Like, you only have this for so long, so might as well embrace it, right? So I know it gets really itchy, so one of my favorite things to do, and one of the weirdest things I do, is stick my arm out the car window when I'm in the passenger seat and just like let the wind in my arm so that it's getting some airflow, and it makes it way less itchy, and it makes it, I don't know, 100 times more comfortable. And whenever we play video games, which yeah, I will still play Nintendo 64 with a broken elbow, I just use my left hand. Another thing I've heard is people sticking like rulers and things in there. That has not helped me at all. It just kind of hurts my skin and, I don't know, rubs against me weird. So I usually just like, it just as far as I can with my finger, or I just have to take my mind off it, because there's really nothing else you can do. There are definitely a lot of downsides to breaking a bone, but I like to look on the bright side, so I needed to slow down anyways, because after vacation my work was really piling up. So when I broke my elbow, it really sucked, but it also made me take a step back and take things slow, and I really needed that. So that might sound weird, but I truly believe that it has helped me relax more, because I can only do so many things now, and people are way nicer to you when you're broken. And I've gotten so many discounts on things lately, it's amazing. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope this video helped you in some sort of way, and that you heal quickly and stay adventurous but safe. Next video, I'll be doing either a travel diary or something that you guys suggest. If you guys have any suggestions on what video you'd like to see next from me, please comment down below, and I will definitely take that into consideration. Comment the worst break you've ever had. It's kind of weird that I want to know that, but I'm pretty interested.
He's at it again. It happened, my friend.